Coming up, Rod Stewart's wild nights of sex, drugs and rock and roll. And I heard that your favourite thing, the pair of you, was you'd like to just occasionally get very drunk and then throw everything out of your hotel room. Yes, well, I'm going to ask you about this because, unless I'm mistaken, that woman, and I didn't use the word woman advisedly, bears a striking resemblance to a young Rod Stewart.
It certainly is. I found this painting in a shop in New York about 10 years ago, and it looks like me, exactly like me when I was 17.
It's identical.
It is, because in those days I had a straight nose. I broke my nose playing soccer. But so I thought, I've got to have this painting.
When your dad bought you your first guitar, it said that you actually would have preferred a nice train because you were so obsessed with model trains.
Still am.
I mean, you've got a set here, haven't you? Like an amazing room.
A set?
What would you, I don't know what you train weirdos call it. What do you call it?
Well, no, we're not weirdos. We're just, you know, you got to understand model. We'll get back to that question because it's a dangerous question.
Right.
And this is a dangerous show to be on.
You see, I told you.
Where were we? I've forgotten.
Model train sets. Your dad buying you the first guitar?
Yeah. For some unknown reason, I had no musical inclination when I was at school. I used to avoid singing lessons and, singing class. But my dad just went out and bought me a guitar. I was 14 or 15. Just about the time skiffle music was coming in. Just out the top of his head, being a Scotsman, he probably thought, there might be some money in this. But I did. I wanted a railway station from a model railway.
Where is the model railway here?
Never you mind.
See, no one's ever seen this, have they?
Well, it's been in magazines.
Yeah, but no one's ever sort of filmed it.
No, there's $250,000 a year to become a member of the Model Railroad Society of Beverly Hills.
Seriously?
No.
So we can't see it, though?
No. It's really private, but it's...
Well, what does it bring you, though? When you go in that room?
It's like any hobby, man. It's just brilliant. If I don't get stressed, but if I do get a little stressed, I go, it. I'm going upstairs, spend a couple of hours. I get permission from Penny's, or I disappear to the third floor and just work on my hobby.
Is it the size of this room?
It's the length of this house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's massive. Maybe I'll take you up there, as a private guest.
Thank you.
I'll have to phone the other members and see if it's okay.
How many trains do you have?
It's not a question of trains. People still watching this. Yes. It's a question of scale and detail. I based my layout on the 1940s New York Central and Pennsylvania line. And I'll take you up there.
You love it. It's a passion of yours.
I love it, man. I really do, and I take it everywhere with me.
And do you like being the driver or the station master?
No, don't take the piss now. I don't wear a little hat. No, it's a lovely hobby. It's like reading a book or painting a picture. It's three-dimensional, it's wonderful.
Can you remember your first performance?
Singing?
Yes. We'll come to the other one later.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can, like it was yesterday.
Talk to me about that experience.
Well, it was in Manchester, a place called the Twisted Wheel. I was 19, and it was in a band with Long John Baldry. He asked me to be the singer in the group and open up a show for him. And Long John, for those of you who don't know, was instrumental in bringing rhythm and blues to Great Britain. Bless him, he's gone now. But I got up on stage and I was a bit nervous, so one of the guys gave me what he called a little pill, what they called a black bomber. I must have been awake for 3 days.
Illegal drugs?
And I didn't know it was illegal. He was a responsible grown-up. I was a mere lad of 19. And I must admit, I made one song last for about half an hour there to get hooked and get me off the stage.
Did you love that instant chemistry with an audience, the reaction that you got?
I didn't get any reaction at all. They were all busy drinking. It was what we call an all-nighter in those days. You're a bit too young to remember those days. But everybody was at the bar, so no one was really watching me. But that was the first show.
What was the moment when you thought, I want to be a rock star?
Oh, man. Probably when I saw Mick and the Stones over at Eel Pie Island. There's a place in Twickenham where they used to play, and there was only maybe 100 people in the audience, and I saw Mick jumping about, and I was having a beer, and I thought, I can do that.
So you're watching Mick Jagger, who's the hot rock star.
I was watching the Rolling Stones.
Okay, but essentially you're watching Jagger, because you're thinking, being the front man in a rock band, that's about as cool as life gets.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what did you hope being a rock star would bring you?
A sports car. That's all I wanted. You know, when I joined the band, I was earning about $60 a week, which back in those days, in the early 60s, was a lot of money. So I wanted a sports car so I could go out and pull the birds, the girls. That's what I wanted. And here we are.
And here you are with the Lamborghini and Ferrari and the birds.
Just the one.
The one bird there, the chief bird.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first band you played with Jeff Beck and these guys, amazing musicians. Ronnie Wood came on the scene. You had some amazingly talented people around you, but very quickly you emerged as a front man and then went solo and became this huge star. That transformation process, was there a point when you thought, I've got to do this on my own?
No, when I was with the Faces, I wanted to stay with the Faces, but I had a feeling that Mick wanted Woody and the Stones, you know, although he said face to face to me, he said I'd never steal Ronnie from the Stones. I knew that not to be true. So I think Ronnie was made to be a Rolling Stone. And maybe we'd taken the band as far as we could. And it was a wonderful 5 or 6 years of drunkenness and silliness. But
I mean, how good is that? See, for someone like me that's yearned to be a rock star and never really come any closer than judging a piano-playing pig and getting a few titters in the back of the crowd.
You do your job very well, mate.
Thank you, Ross.
You do.
Thank you. But, I mean, I would love to have walked out at a stadium with 80,000 women screaming and throwing their knickers at me.
Well,
You've had this for 40 years.
Yeah, not so many knickers nowadays, but... It's wonderful, you know. There's no drug like it. I mean, the adrenaline that comes and the love that comes back from a packed house. It really is remarkable. But the thing is, in the Faces days, you know, we really were very drunk.
How wild was it? Come on, talk me through a wild night with the Faces. Led by you and Mr. Wood.
Well, we'd used to drink and drug before the show. Not terribly, you know, but we used to drink a lot. Not too many drugs, they were too expensive. But we'd you know, me and Woody would dangle a Holiday Inn key in front of the girls in the front. He'd have room 197 on his key, and I'd have room 200. That's all you had to do, and they'd all be back at the hotel and knocking on the
I heard
doors.
that your favourite thing, the pair of you, was you'd like to just occasionally get very drunk and then throw everything out of your hotel room. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
The entire room.
Yeah, especially with, you know, if there was a new member of the group, moving on, so that would be an initiation thing, you know. Go to his room, put a key in the door, not a stitch of furniture, no light bulbs, nothing. And it was even better if that particular person had pulled a girl, you know, and given all the big one, you know.
But where would all this stuff go?
I don't know.
Out the window?
No, we'd put it in the elevator and send it down to the lobby. No, we never threw it out the window. We never did that. It was cheap. Send it down to the lobby.
Who were the wildest rockers you came up against? Was there anyone that matched you and Ronnie?
There was the Who. I mean, I think they were a little bit before us. You know, they were pretty wild. But just as we were becoming famous, hotels were beginning to know about us, and we used to book in as Fleetwood Mac. Which brings me round to the tour that I'm going to do with Stevie Nicks, which we'll talk about later. Good. But we checked in as Fleetwood Mac and let them take the blame.
So basically you'd rack up a $20,000 bill and it would all go to Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, we're Fleetwood Mac, mate. Because they weren't particularly famous and neither were we, so no one knew the difference.
Next, I'll talk to Rod about the one woman who broke his heart.
It was a good 6 months of, you know, laying upstairs, looking at the ceiling in bed, couldn't get out of bed, depression.